This is Mindustry. It's a factory builder tower defense game available on basically any platform. Here, we have a power plant. It consumes water, titanium, lead, sand, and coal to produce power. Cool, but what if you want to build your own power plant, and you don't have a blueprint for it? This is where my calculator comes in. It lets you pick a final output of any process and helps you backtrack through the list of ingredients to the raw resources that you need to produce to feed it. So, let's make a new power plant. We want to make 25,000 power a second, and let's use impact reactors. Okay, what are we going to need? We're going to need 3 and a bit reactors, rounds up to 4, so let's make 4 reactors. What do the reactors need? Well, they need some blast compound. We need 3 mixers for that, because 2.28 rounded up, 3. Now we're going to do the exact same thing for each of the materials needed to produce the blast compound and the cryofluid that the reactors need to run, going all the way down to the raw resources. We'll make pyrrhotite mixers, cultivators, and cryofluid mixers feeding them with sand, lead, coal, titanium and water. Then we'll give the plant some power, and cut to when it's running on its own. Here we are, and now the plant is almost fully operational, producing over 24,000 power a second. This is MindyCalc, a ratio calculator for the game Mindustry, built by me, Sean Perry. The idea is pretty simple. Mindustry can get really math-heavy when you're building complex production chains, and I wanted a tool that could make that part easier. So, I started working on a GUI-based calculator, and after a lot of trial and error, and some help from ChatGPT, it turned into a pretty complete tool. The first version came together around mid-February. I had basic windows, images, and text on buttons, a working back button, and outlines that change dynamically when you hover. Each item, block, and unit had its own little window you could click through. Then came version 2, in late March. That's where I added recursive structures, so you could go deeper into production chains, and a few special buttons. Power sources got toggles, and turret configurations had mutually exclusive options for coolant, either none, water, or cryofluid. Behind the scenes, the whole thing is structured around functions. Each window is its own function defined locally, with more functions defined locally or as part of a class, and the data is all stored in dictionaries as objects. That made it easier to reference things without rewriting code over and over. To keep it clean, I split the code into separate files, one for data, and one for logic and the GUI. And yeah, the images. Most are assets from the game itself. I edited a few and made a couple. Overall, the program uses over 120 of them, to make everything prettier and more understandable, especially for experienced players. Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. One major pain was the toggle button in the power selector. Every time it is clicked, the UI reset to a different layout. Took a while to figure out how to make it reset, new buttons, operation labels, and spin boxes. Same goes for those mutually exclusive buttons. I had to make sure that only one option could be active at a time, which sounds simple, but handling that cleanly in the GUI took some work. Now, the biggest thing I learned? Comment your code. Seriously. In small programs, you can get away with just naming things well. But once you hit a few hundred lines, good luck remembering what window function 72 actually does. I didn't comment as I went, and I paid for that later. Finally, big thanks to Antonio Lara for helping me figure out what to talk about to get full marks. And to Dr. Joseph, and the ENCMP 100 course, for giving me the perfect excuse to build a big project like this, and maybe neglect my other classes just a bit too much while doing it. That's it for MindyCalc. Thanks for watching.